Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. Amanda noticed that I was working on Gomer Pyle, and she had major questions as to why I would want Gomer Pyle. Like I told you guys, Russ, my neighbor, has a withered arm. Can't remember what it's called. And so for him to open up a DVD case, take out a DVD, stick it into a DVD player, and watch it on the TV screen, and then at the end put it all back into the DVD case, it's a little more challenging for him. Whereas having it on a USB drive that he just plugs in, simple, easy for him to manage. And so I have the computer system with the converter, and several years ago, I think it was back in 2017 when I began, maybe 2018, no, 2017, because Karen was still sort of in the picture. He asked, or I offered to convert all of his collection of DVDs, and thus anything he orders since then. And it just helps him out. But for security purposes, it's best to have a backup. And since these are filling up multiple terabytes of storage, can't be stored on a computer system, and so since I'm already doing my own thing, I also have storage, so I hold a backup for him on my devices, which is frustrating because I don't want anything to do with Barney. The purple dinosaur demon who teaches kids evil principles. But also, I really have no interest in the church anymore. It's all false. It's all fake. It's all lies. And so, since he wants all things church, conferences and other videos and such, I have to keep backup of those also. The thing is that it's not Joseph, obviously. If you've been paying attention to my channel, it's the current church. And many Mormons are wondering whether they make their abusive comment or not. Why did I betray the church? Not why the church betrayed you. How did the church betray you, Travis? No, it's always, how did you betray the church? Why? Yeah. That involves their thinking processes, that they're assuming that the church is true. But that's the whole point, and hopefully I put that in the title, is that if the church were true, I wouldn't be an LDS critic. I wouldn't be a Paleo-Hebrew decipherer, or an Egyptian petroglyph decipherer, or have made the discovery that the Bible was translated from the Egyptian petroglyphs, because the true church would have already done it for me, and I would just read and enjoy it. And so as a result, I'm an LDS critic. But the reason why I go whole hog, as the hog is flying in hell, in the frozen over hell, is because I have to protect myself. See, when it's not the true church of God, whose church are they, Mormons? Lucifer's church. If you're not the church of the Lamb, you're the church of the devil. So yes, the inverted pentagram is all over Temple Square, the headquarters of the church. It's the church of the devil. And as the church of the devil, they don't like it when people find out that Joseph Smith is actually a legitimate guy. That they, the church, have been lying about him. And so they don't mind if John Dehlin, D. Michael Quinn, Fawn Brody, the September 6th, other than D. Michael Quinn, or Gerald and Sandra Tanner, anybody like that, comes out. Jeremy Russells comes out and cries foul about Joseph Smith being the bad guy. They don't care at all. Because they just say, oh, we're not that church anymore. We are, look at us. We're good. All the work we're doing around the world. Yeah, it's a conservative distraction ploy. As they claim that, we give 40 million in charity every year through the bishop's storehouses and emergency relief for hurricanes and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and then you find out the percentage, and then all that number scam is exposed. Similar to the coronavirus stats for Utah, as Governor Herbert followed the example of the church leaders and tried to pull a numbers scam on Utah. And it's obviously blown up in his face already, because you can't hide coronavirus from the people. It eventually catches up with you, and you can't manipulate stats anymore, because people are going to be catching on. The con is on, and it's over. And so percentages is how we do coronavirus. But Herbert still wants to push for numbers. Yeah. And so it's a simple thing. If the church were good and true, if they taught Mormons to be good people, if they didn't extort tithing from them in order to attend the temple, if they didn't have pyramid scam missionary scheme, I had a great time on my mission. I didn't pay for it, so I wasn't scammed out of my money to help the church's pyramid scam. But going out to New York, meeting all the people out there, lots of memories. Even the ones where people would not think that they would be, such as Joseph Arntz, who called us saying that he was possessed by the devil and wanted us to exorcise the devil from him. And Ames was too scared, so he just did the anointing, and then I started the blessing when Joseph all of a sudden felt a burning sensation throughout his whole body, collapsed on the floor, then ran to the bathroom coughing in a fit. What did you do to me? Oh, I'm burning! And so we left. And then Other times having to deal with young missionary brats who got put into positions of authority, who demand that I produce results, taking away the agency of our investigators and people in our area. You will be converted. I have to meet my quota for the month, or the district leader and the zone leader are going to be mad. But other than those experiences, the people are awesome. Nice, kind, especially as a missionary, because even though the teenage boys, seeing us as white, want to murder us, they're kept in check by the mothers of the neighborhood, as the mothers wish that their boys would be more religious than they are. Why can't you be like those nice young men? And yeah. But I remember Newburgh. Let's change the theme of this video to be my mission video, rather than talking about why I'm an LDS critic. So yeah, if the church were good, and if they just did basic, hey, here's scriptures for you, read them, you'll draw closer to God, do good to your fellow man, don't put knees on the necks of people as police officers to murder them when they're unarmed and in custody, don't shoot them when they're unarmed, running away for their life. So yeah, from Brigham Young on up, racist, Nazi, bigoted, sexist, just full of hate, and I can't be a part of that. That's why I didn't want to hang out with my peers, my male peers as a child, is because they were all of the conservative mindset. They were listening to the Rush Limbaugh show on radio, and I think even Sean Hannity was on back then too. And so my peers were talking about, all sorts of horrible atrocities, which I don't know if it would be appropriate to tell on YouTube, because of how atrocious it is. Some of the cruel, inhumane treatments of blacks, Mexicans, women, LGBTQ, which we didn't have all those numbers back, or letters back then. It was just gay and lesbian. But it was horrifying to sit in art class and listen to, sit at recess and listen. It's just, I want nothing to do with men as a result. Women are nicer. You can tell I came to Utah, and then all of a sudden women are desiring to scam guys, trick them and fool them and steal from them and manipulate them and abuse them, just like the men here in Utah. And so this isn't the church that I was raised to believe I was in. It's not the Church of Joseph Smith, as Nelson said. And I want nothing to do with this kind of religion. And so yes, previous video I did today talked about how Mormonism in and of itself sets itself up for being a comedy show. There's so many jokes to make fun of the church with. Make fun of Mormons and Mormon tradition and Mormonism, because it's completely altered from the original Joseph Smith version. And nobody knows the original. And YouTube is making sure none of you know about the original through me, because of their hatred, and they're being paid by the church to shut me down as much as possible. I mean, just the fact that I come out and say, hey, Joseph is a translator, isn't that awesome? Church is true. And all Mormonism try to collapse on my life, and have successfully destroyed it, technically. I'm still alive, not dead yet, but they're trying hard. You know, just with this year, I had death threats, not just the ones on YouTube, but actual death threats, physical, live death threats here at my residence. And financial difficulties, because people all of a sudden forgot how to do their job, and just complete and utter conspiratorial effort to destroy me. And they don't understand. I have to do this to protect myself. This isn't just because I'm so hateful of a human being myself that I am going against good. But the fact that they think that is a projection on their part. Because I grew up knowing all about this kind of behavior. And so to see it when I moved to Utah, dear God, what have I gotten into? I mean, this is the most hard-hearted people on the face of the earth. And those who have escaped, I mean, yeah, it's a sigh of relief, isn't it? To be able to breathe finally. Even though you still have the backlash from Mormons who still are in your life and family. But, I mean, it was a sigh of relief as much as my abusive first wife leaving. I mean, it was sad. I lost my kids, lost my Paleo-Hebrew research, that I made the decipherment of Paleo-Hebrew, and told her, said, hey, I deciphered Paleo-Hebrew. That's awesome, right? Church is true. Joseph Smith is a translator. We're leaving. I'm taking your research. I'm taking the kids, taking the other property of yours other than your clothes, because my kids will not learn Hebrew. And then there's, of course, a couple of country songs that came out around that time. She's 2 or she's 4 and he's 2 and she's 4, something like that. Whatever the title. And then there was another one, which was Chicago, I think. As she left me. I can't remember the song now. But yeah, anyway, whatever. I almost had it. And then another one popped up from Chicago. But nobody understands me, because I don't speak anybody's understanding. And that's sad. I mean, it's like YouTube, that their analytical program never understands me. They always recommend videos. None of them are what I want. I don't go for categories. On the main page, you know, they have spitting image, but I found out that they are actually showing the full episodes, so I wait until the next full episode comes along. But they keep showing the little minor segments from the full one that will eventually be coming out. And so I don't want to see the smaller portion. I want to see the full episode. So they don't understand that. And then they have the Greg Kiln Band, the breakup song, the full-length version. And so I can understand, it's a song, and I may want to listen to it again. But where are the other songs that I've been listening to? Where are they? This just happens to be one of the more recent ones. And so, yeah, the whole thing. But they do have me. Finally, it took some doing to finally see myself on my own channel when I try to get on. But they have a Geico commercial here. I'm not interested in that Geico commercial. I went looking for a specific Geico commercial. Because I found it, I have no interest in the others. But yet they say, oh, if you like that Geico commercial, maybe you'll like this one. No, I don't want those others. I chose the one I got. So that's what analytical programs can never comprehend. They just cannot do it. And that's why we got to get rid of them. And so it's just so anyway. Diaper Dawn. Midas Touch did a video 5 days ago now. I saw it yesterday because that's when they finally showed it for me. Oh, they have one on Diaper Dawn? Oh. I have selections on the side of what I subscribe to. You'd think they'd fill my recommended with those videos. Have a category for new releases from each of the different... You'd think they had set it up that way. No. No. Screw your subscription list, Travis. You're going to watch what we want you to watch. But Diaper Dawn, oh man, I didn't realize how bad he's got it. And he's not dead from coronavirus. And all the news has just moved on. Oh, he gets coronavirus, goes to the hospital over the weekend, and then he's free, he's cured, and nobody thinks to question that. Oh, it must have been the experimental drugs that he himself invests in. Really? This is the state of our news in America, is they don't bother to do any research, they don't investigate, they just report. Oh, Trump says this. Okay. How does that make you feel? But yeah, Diaper Dawn. Oh man. They're listening to this. He's a coke hound. I didn't realize that. He brags about how he doesn't drink. And said that, not getting STDs was his Vietnam. But, and Cocaine Dawn. Huh. Who would have thought? It makes sense, because he always does the breathing thing when he speaks. Which Bill Maher confesses to, having done that before, and now he only does marijuana. Although he did recommend hooking up with another guy on a show this past season for heroin. Whatever, guys. So, yeah, all the church had to do was leave me alone. That's it. That's all. The ex-wife, just leave me alone. I wouldn't have to fight for custody of my kids. And then lose, because Utah is involved in separating families rather than uniting them. But, yeah. That's it. Church came after me because I'm a translator. And, because I can expose them. I didn't realize it. I thought I was helping. Oh, mister, you dropped your gun. Mister, you dropped this man's wallet.